Thank you guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button and subscribe. So guys, today I am going to talk about how to come to Australia. Have you ever asked yourself, how is it to come to Australia? It's too easy. If you follow the six steps I'm going to talk about, you will land yourself in Australia. It's too easy. Just tell yourself it's easy to come to Australia. It's very easy, guys. It's easy. So if I came to Australia, I followed the 6 steps, and that's why I am in Australia. So there are too many ways to come to Australia. So I will tell you the ways I know, and the ways a lot of, like, almost 80% of the people have made it. And yeah, so there is visa. There's always visa that makes people come to Australia. So there is always a student visa, there's a working visa, and there's student visa, working visa, and holiday visa. Those are the visas I know so far. So, and those are the visas that bring people to Australia. So most of the visa that specifically that brings almost let's say 80% of people to Australia is the student visa. The student visa has brought a lot of people to Australia. So student visa, I'll talk now about the student visa because that's the major thing that I know can bring you as a student to Australia. And if you're still studying, because I know a lot of people still study, or if you want to study, you can always apply for a student visa, and this one will land you to Australia as long as you follow down the process that I'm going to say. So you land yourself in Australia. If I made it, you can make it. Okay, so guys, I'm going to talk about the student visa or application of the student visa. It's easy. Use an agent or use yourself, or use a website, or go to application for a student visa in Australia. Google that and do it yourself if you can, if you feel like you are more courageous to do it. Some people have done it and they have come. Or you use an agent if you want to make sure everything is clear. So there's some agents that are misleading, and there's some agents that can tell you the truth. So choose somebody well, and do a review first before you choose a new agent. Some agents just want money, they don't really care about you. But yeah, choose a good agent that can bring you to Australia, or see if that agent has brought, like, probably maybe 80% or something of people. Go for that agent, will bring you to Australia. So I'm going to talk about how to apply for student visa. It's easy. You have to the first thing is, what are you studying? For example, you have to know the course that you are coming to study in Australia. For example, if you're already studying, which course are you studying? So if you're already studying, for example, you're studying social work in your country, always apply for visa, your student visa in Australia. Like, apply for a course that you're already studying. That's how you'll be current. You'll be current visa. But if you apply for a different field, sometimes it's misleading, so you might not land into a visa of you won't get the visa. Yeah, sometimes almost 20% can decline, or 80%. It depends on how that day it goes. But yeah, use your visa that you already use your course that you're already studying. For example, if you're studying nursing, you're doing diploma in nursing, and you finish your diploma, apply for a degree in nursing. That's what will bring you Australia. If you finish high school, choose any course. You're free. That one is easy. That's easy. You can choose any course in Australia for in a certain school. That, yeah, with those courses, please make sure you choose a good school. Like, for example, we have states in Australia. Australia has a lot of states. There's Melbourne, there's Perth, there's Western Australia, there's New South Wales, that's Sydney, there's Queensland, there's Northern Territory. So always look at the state that offers the best course that you are coming to study. For example, if you know of social work, you can apply for something like Curtin University. If you know of law, apply for something like University of Western Australia. Apply for the best school for your course, for for your course. Yeah, because the more you apply the best school that suits your course is the more knowledge you gain, and the more education, and the more you get employed in a very good places. Like for example, in a law, you apply, you get a good firm because you studied in a good school. So yeah, just look at factors that can make you maybe for employment in future. Don't forget, you come to study, you come to look for a job. That's part of it as well. And then you have to have a statement of purpose. For example, if you're working or if you've been studying a certain course, they should always send you they should always say you did this course in this school, something like that. That's like a statement of purpose. And then when you want to come to Australia, you have to have a valid reason why you're coming to Australia, because sometimes this is an important part of it. You have to write a very good reason and convincing reason, because the more you write a reason that doesn't really make sense in a good way, you won't get a visa to come to Australia. For example, if they tell you, why do you want to come to Australia, you just say you want to come to study. For example, you want to come and study maybe let's say nursing. You just say, oh, I'm coming to do nursing, and after I finish my nursing, I'm going back to my country. Yeah, that's the main reason you come to study in Australia. You've come to study your nursing. After you finish your nursing, always tell them you're going back to your country, because if you come to study in Australia and you don't have a reason, like, oh, and then stay, the high chances of not getting a visa is high as well. You always have to convince that you're going back to your country after you finish that education. Yeah, and sometimes after you come to Australia and you're after yourself, after you've given a good reason, always sometimes people must come and stay. For example, if you come for your nursing, you finish your nursing, you can always apply for a working visa, or you apply for your PR. Yeah, it depends if it's on the list of PR. So most people I know, like almost maybe, let's say 50% approximately, they stay in Australia around me. Yeah, it depends on, yeah, some people like to stay, some people like to go back to your country. So yeah, the main reason for you here is to just come to Australia. And then when coming to Australia, you have another thing you have to, you can use a sponsor as well, or you can have a dependent who can sponsor you to Australia. After you have choose the course, you can have a so it depends on who you are going to depend on. Do you have a dependent in Australia, like a brother or sister who can help you as well in Australia, or you have a sponsor who's going to sponsor you when you're in Australia? And then another important thing, this is very, 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 very crucial. A lot of people fail to come to Australia because of this reason. Bank statement. You have to get a bank statement from your family. Family. This should be a first degree family. This is your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, and your close family, or family that you have always lived with, and they know with the immigration, and people know, like, completely it's known that this is your family. Yeah, so that one, they can always give you the bank statement. They don't want a bank statement from another person. They only want a bank statement from your family that they can declare they can sponsor you to come to Australia. Because that's what immigration agency is always expecting, that you have money from your own family. Yeah. And then another thing, when you come to Australia, you have to consider the school location. Is your school located in Melbourne? Is it located in Perth? Is it located in where? So if you have found that it's in Melbourne, then you can always apply for schools in Melbourne. Yeah, I've already talked about that. So it's like, which school are you coming to study? The best school for the best course. And then another thing, the requirement is always an English test. You have to do your English test. This is very important, because this is what it brings you in Australia. Because if you don't show that you have done English already, so you can't even come. So a long time ago, people used to come, like almost, let's say, like almost 3-4 years ago, they used to come without English. But nowadays, they want to make sure that you've done your English to prove your English your English level. If you can speak well English, you can study in English. Yeah, so there's always type of English that people do mostly. There's IELTS, there's OTE, there's TOEFL, and there's PT, and yeah, there's so many English. You can always get through the agent, or you can Google through website the English that can bring you to Australia. So most people, like almost 80% of the people, they use IELTS. IELTS is very popular thing that people use to come to Australia. I did IELTS as well, but with IELTS you have to get a band of 6.0 for a certain courses, and then the best thing that you have to get is the best band that you have to get is band 7. Band 7 will take you everywhere, everywhere, like every course. If you get less than band 7, sometimes it's injury time. That's when I don't know if it can bring you it can take you to do too many courses, but some courses can take as low as that. So it's much better you get 7 and above in everything, assurance of you're going somewhere. And then get 8. Oh my god, if you get 8, you done, you're going far. You get 9, oh my god, you're so genius, you're going so far. That's like a good grade, and that know yourself, you're very genius. I know some people with that IELTS, you have, with that English that you study, like for example the IELTS, after you've done the IELTS, you have to get somebody who can train you, because these things are sometimes a bit tricky. But if you feel you are very comfortable, because I know some people can do things for themselves and read for themselves, you can always read through Google, you can always read through website and Google, and then after that you do exam. Like for example in IELTS, it has speaking, it has writing, it has a lot of stuff to do with it. So you can always do those ones, study those ones, and then you go for exam. After you pass your exam, you get this band 6, band 7, band 8. You can apply for that. You can send the English as well to the Australia with your application. And then sometimes with traineeship, you can always look for somebody who has already trained people to come to Australia. Look for like review. Hear some people, like ask some people who've already come to Australia, who did you use, and see the review, like from the website, or anything, recommendation from people that this person can teach you English and you can be able to make to Australia. So yeah, that's, you go for your review first, and you go for review, and then you go to that person and they can help you as well. And then another thing, you have to have your own checklist before you come to Australia. You have to have your checklist. This checklist you have to go through. That's high school certificates, you have to have them if you finish because you have to finish high school anyway. And then there's a diploma certificate. If you finish your diploma, you have to have your diploma with you as you come. Degree, yeah, you can have your own degree, and transcript of what you've been doing for the last few years when you're still in your country, yeah, after finishing high school. And then certificate of employment. If you are employed as well, you have to have it with you to show that you are doing this thing at a certain period of time, because you have to provide enough evidence before you come to Australia, because sometimes they'll think, oh, you're lazy or anything. You have to provide a full good evidence. That's when your visa is not rejected. So if you have a business, you can always provide your permit, and then your income tax as well after you claim your tax. And then another thing you have to prove in Australia is you have to prove that you're not a criminal. If you're not a criminal, they can always admit you, and you have to get with this showing, because they don't really want to take criminals. Australia is a pure country. If you leave something here, you will find it the same place. So yeah, they want to make sure that everyone who's coming here is a true and honest person, and is not gonna participate in any crime or something. So you have to come with your NBA clearance, your police clearance. Carry this with you, because sometimes, mostly if you're working with people, aged care, disability, and other places, they always sometimes need the police clearance to prove that you are cleared in your country from any criminal or anything. Yeah. And then another thing, after you've gotten, so after the first thing, like to clarify, you have applied for, you choose your course with the field you're already studying, and then you've choose your school, you found the school, you've done the English, you finished the English as well, you've passed, you've gotten that band 6, band 7, or band 8, and then after that you've proved that you're not a criminal or something. You've submitted, you have your checklist, your all those ones. So that's when you can send it, and then after that they can always give you a letter of offer. The letter of offer shows that you've finished your the letter of offer shows you the list of the schools, like the courses you've choose. Like for example, social work, it will show you the list of social work, what you've done, and they always help you with the outstanding credit. Like for example, what you've already done in your country, you can reduce to maybe 2 years or something. That's the list of the course with your, that's the letter of enrollment, shows that you have been enrolled. and you this is a certain period of time you are coming to study. Yeah, so that's how you, when you get your letter of enrollment, just know you are almost a half through of it. And then after that, there's always intern. After you've submitted everything, it always takes 7 to 14 days to get your letter of enrollment. Doesn't really take long, especially now with COVID. They really want people, so that's really easy. And then after you have applied for those ones, you now get your health insurance. Health in Australia is very, very important. This is an expensive one, even more than the other things you have applied for, because health insurance costs expensive. The more you become with the more you are couples, is the more expensive it become. When you are single, it's a bit cheaper. So yeah, consider what you think about for yourself. So there's always like insurance you can choose. I can tell you the popular insurance that people apply for, they use is Bupa. I use Bupa. Bupa is really good. It has never disappointed me. I've always used it for my health and everything, and it has always helped me a lot. There's Allianz, there's Medicare, and there's so many. So yeah, you can it depends on you. It depends on which the agent tell you and which one can convince you. After you've chosen those ones, after everything, you've met all those points, and they have already you pay with the health insurance. You can always pay with the school fees, your letter of enrollment that was sent or for your course, and then you pay with your school fee, because the letter of enrollment shows how much amount they need for your course. And then after you pay with the letter of enrollment together, the cost of the letter of enrollment they gave to you, or you can always pay afterwards, so it doesn't matter. But after that, after you've passed everything, they have checked everything, you go for medicals. If they tell you you're going for medicals, you've made it to Australia. But remember, medicals can fail you, so you have to declare you are much healthier, because if you're not healthy, sometimes you have to prove evidence. You have to get your doctor to check you and have enough evidence that, oh, you are always having a chest problem, you're having this and all that. So with those ones, you can submit them, and then they check your health. Mostly they do chest x-ray, they check your eyes, so don't lie on those ones. Make sure before you go for your assessment, there's always places in, maybe for example in Kenya, they go to Nairobi where they do your medical checkup, and then they submit to Australian embassy. They don't really give you back, so make sure if you're going for a health, if they find it, there's like traces of something, they will always tell you to repeat. You don't have to pay for it, because I think myself I was told to repeat because they saw maybe traces of like traces of chest. When they did my chest x-ray, they felt like, oh, maybe they didn't do it well, so they thought I was sick or something. But I repeated, but all was good afterwards. So after you've done your medical, you've done everything, they submit, everything is all right, your medical is okay, that's, oh yeah, you're ready for Australia. So after all that, everything is ready for Australia. You've paid your school fees, there's nothing else after that. So you are ready for Australia. You are ready. You pack your stuff, start buying clothes, start buying stuff to come to Australia. So the first thing I was telling you is your course. After you choose your course, bank, your family has to have money in their bank, because that's actually can support you to come to Australia. And then your checklist, the high school you're coming to study, and then after that you have to declare that you are not a criminal or something. And then another thing after you finish that, your insurance. And then another thing after that is you do your medical checkup. It's just easy to come to Australia. Welcome to Australia. That's the easy stuff anyway. If you have any questions, just send me a message or comment down below, and I will give you a feedback. Bye bye.